Welcome everyone. Recently, we received a lot of question and inquiry about green building and LEED. And since this is our day-by-day activity in Green Guide, we will try in this video to elaborate more about green building and LEED. My name is Muhammad Fikri Abdul Ghafoor. I am sustainability engineer, LEED faculty, and LEED consultant. We will start with a common question: what is a green building? Many people they think that the green building is just a building with having some green area on the roof, but unfortunately the meaning is more deep than that. To understand what is a green building, we have to start with another definition. First definition, it is natural environment. And simply natural environment, it is anything we founded on the earth without any human intervention. It means what we founded naturally on our planet. Like what we see in this picture. The question: can we live in this natural environment without doing any changes or any modification? For sure, no. We had to do some alternation and changes to this natural environment so we can live on the planet. This will lead us to the next definition, which is called built environment. So our role as a construction professional to convert the term natural environment to the built environment. Now, the important question, how the built environment impacting natural environment? First of all, built environment is consume natural resources like water and energy we need it for construction and for operation of our built environment, and material, including all kind of material like wood resources, steel, concrete, cement, whatever. The problem is that all these resources are finite, so it is going to deplete if we continue to consume it as the current pattern. Plus, after consume these resources, we have some emission or rejection, or what we can call it waste. So water, it will have water waste. Energy, it will have carbon emission, because for energy we have to burn the fossil fuel, and material will have solid waste. So the main issue is that we are consuming the resources, plus we are pollute the natural environment. So that we create new term that's called sustainability. What does it mean of sustainability? We will assume that if we continue consume the resources and pollute the natural environment as what we are doing today, this will lead that in the future, the next generations will face problem and suffer to meet their own need. So when we say sustainability, that mean we had to meet present, that mean today requirement, without compromise future generation to meet their own needs. So when you are going to do the construction today, you have to do it in a way to avoid the next generation to suffer. This is the meaning of sustainability in way like reducing the emission, reduce resources consumption like water, material, energy. So sustainability is a concept, and implement sustainability in reality or in the ground, it will lead us to the next definition, which is a green building. So we can say that the green building, it is the implementation of sustainability concept, or we can say it is practice of minimizing the impact of built environment or the construction on the natural environment and human health. Okay, so what is the issue that green buildings addresses? First point, it is global warming and the climate change, and this have high negative impact on the environment and human health. And if you want to discuss about global warming itself, we need maybe more than 2 sessions to discuss about the negative impact of global warming. So green buildings try to reduce the negative impact of global warming, or try to reverse the impact of global warming on human health and natural environment. What else? we have resources depletion. So we are trying to reduce our resources consumption, water consumption. We had to use a strategy and concept that reduce our water needs. Degradation of ecosystem and habitat. We try to improve our ecosystem performance. We try to improve occupant health and comfort. And finally, we try to reduce building life cycle cost. Life cycle, it is not only the initial cost, no, we had to think about the overall cost of our building, starting from cradle to grave. Okay, let's come to LEED, which is one of the most important definition today. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. And LEED, it is one of the green building rating system. So many people will come and say, my building is green, but we should have third party to judge it. If this building meets the green building requirement or no. Let's discuss about LEED. LEED was created by United States Green Building Council. United States Green Building Council was established in 1993, and LEED system, it was start 1998 with LEED version 1, and it was start updated and upgrade from version 1 until we reach today to version 4 and 4.1. LEED is used globally in more than 150 countries and considered today the most recognized green building rating system. What LEED provide? LEED provides certification for project and accreditation for professional. That means any project need to be LEED certified, he had to submit for certification, and the professional who want to work in LEED project, they should get accreditation by submit for the exam, and they got the accreditation so they can be eligible to work in LEED project. Let's see what is the available rating system for project and what is the available accreditation for professional. We have mainly 5 rating systems for LEED projects, so it can meet different type of project. The first one is called BD plus C, Building Design and Construction, and this is for new construction and the project having major renovation. Second one is ID plus C, which is mainly for the interior work or fit out work. And this is only concerning about the interior spaces feature. Like if you have one office inside building or you have one shop inside mall. The third one is operation maintenance, and this is dedicated for existing building. If you have a building existing and you want to prove that this building during operation meet green building requirements, so you can go for this rating system. Number 4, it is in the neighborhood development, and this is not dedicated for building, it is dedicated for community or for any small compound or resort, and it is mainly dedicated for feature like walkable street, equitable community, and it's maybe valid for people working in urban planning. And finally, we have LEED homes, and LEED homes is dedicated for single family building or low-rise residential building. Recently, LEED create another 2 rating system. It's called LEED Cities and LEED for Community, and they are applicable for larger scale neighborhood development, like for bigger community and maybe for cities. Let's come to the rating system. For any project, you have 100-point evaluation scale. So any project, they had to get minimum 40 points out of 100 to achieve LEED certification. So the first level is called LEED certified, which is a project achieving 40 points as a minimum. Projects achieving 50-point minimum, it will achieve LEED silver certification. If you're achieving 60 points up to 79, you'll get LEED gold. 80 points and above, it will be LEED platinum. And let's agree that If you are getting more certification level, you have to do more effort on your project, and the requirement will be more. But at the other side, you will get higher value for your sustainable building. Let's go for the credentialing, which is the accreditation for professional. We have three levels of credentialing. The first level, it is the base level, which is called LEED Green Associate. And this is considered the first step for any professional try to become LEED professional. There is no eligibility requirement, just you have to be 18 years old and just register for the exam, study, pass the exam, pay the fees. The fees is $250. Once you pass the exam, خلاص, you'll get the title LEED Green Associate. After that, you can go for the next level. The next level, it's called LEED AB, LEED Accredited Professional. And here we have five type of LEED AB divided according to the rating system. So we have LEED AB, BD plus C, LEED AB, ID plus C, LEED AB O&M, LEED AB Homes, and LEED AB ND. So anyone can choose any one of this LEED AB certificate based on his profession and specialty. And finally, we have LEED Fellow, and LEED Fellow is the most advanced credentialing level, and it has a specific requirement. There is no exam for LEED Fellow. You have just to be LEED AB for minimum of 8 years, and you have to have 10 years of experience in the green building industry. Okay, let's come to the LEED itself. The knowledge of LEED is divided to some categories. We have mainly 7 categories. The first one is location and transportation. Second one, sustainable sites. Third one, water efficiency and energy and atmosphere, material and resources, and indoor environmental quality. And finally, or we can say it's come in the beginning, integrative process. Integrative process is about how to coordinate between all the category. So integrative process, it is discussing how to optimize your project resources and make your project more cost effectiveness by let all the people sit on the same table, exchange information early in the project, try to reduce changes, try to reduce delay by try to get your more synergistic solution and increase your green building opportunity. Then we have location and transportation, and this is one of the most important categories because it is the first step in your project. It's to locate your project, and you will see here item related to project location, how to reduce the impact of transportation by encourage bicycling, try to encourage public transportation as well. Second one is sustainable site, and sustainable site is discussing how to reduce the impact of construction on the environment, and we'll see something like site design, reduce heat island impact, light pollution, increase open space, improve rainwater management strategies. Number 3, we have water efficiency, and this is discussing how to reduce your water demand and increase your water efficiency. Try to find alternative water source like reused water or recycled water. Then we have one of the most important category, which is energy and atmosphere. And this is mainly related to energy consumption, how to reduce your energy demand, how to increase your energy efficiency by trying to found alternative energy sources like renewable energy source like solar and wind. And this is having the most weight on this 100-point scale. It's around 35% of the 100 point only in energy and atmosphere. Also, we have material and resources, and this is one of the also most important category because it's starting from A to Z in the project. And we will see in this category how to reduce your material consumption, how to reduce your waste generation. Then we have indoor environmental quality, and this is one of the credit which is mainly related to human health, how to improve the productivity, how to improve uh, the comfort status of your occupants by providing fresh air, improve acoustics, improve thermal comfort and light comfort, providing some daylight from outside and try to provide quality views to the outside. So this is the mainly category LEED is talking about. Now, we have also important question, who should be involved in LEED? So let's agree that LEED, it is not one-man show. It is a collaborative process between all the team member involved in the construction process. It's starting with the owner. The owner who's the one uh, get the benefit from the project. So he should be involved in the early stage of the project because he will put project goals, what is his sustainability goals and what is his project requirement. And all the other team are working in favor of owner. Then we have the lead consultant, and his lead consultant is a company or the entity hired by owner to get lead certification. And also lead consultant should working in early stage of the project from A to Z, working in line with the owner and working in line with the engineer or the designer. So designer, it is the designer of the, is designing the project, and he should work in line with lead consultant at the design stage to ensure that the project requirements are meet lead specification and lead requirement. Then we have the contractor, and the contractor is the one who executes the work, and he should work in line with the lead consultant during construction stage to ensure that he is implementing what was specified in the design stage. Also, we have the supplier, and this is also one of the most important uh, key factor for lead success, because if the supplier doesn't know what is the lead requirement or doesn't know that his material it is meet lead requirement or no, it will be very difficult for the contractor or for the lead consultant to achieve success in lead related to the material and the resources. Also, we have commissioning agent, and this is also uh, the person or the entities responsible to ensure that the project has been constructed and executed as per the design and as per client requirement. Then we have operation team, and also operation team is very important during operation, and also their feedback is very important during design to try to get the lesson learned from the operation team to reduce problem during operation. Okay, let's also discuss how lead work, how to get your project certified. There is mainly four steps. The first step is called register. You have to register your project on Lead Online. The Lead Online is a platform to communicate project detail between project team and GBCI. Second step, it is apply. After you meet all the requirements and upload all the documentation related to lead that proves that your project meet lead requirement, then you apply this project for review. Step number 3, it is done by GBCI review team, which is are going to review your documentation which has been uploaded against lead requirements. They will check, did you meet lead requirement or no? Then they'll give you the comments or feedback. Then you have to take these comments and rectify and resubmit again for final review. Once in the final review, your all the comments has been fulfilled and all the requirement has been met, then you will come for certification process. And this first step may take 2 months, it may take 2 3 years, depending on the project scale and depending on your work progress. In this slide, I put important website like UGBC website, and through this UGBC website, you can create your account. This account will help you to register for your exam. Plus, it will help you if you want to access Lead Online to register for project. You can download the candidate handbook. It will give you some guideline about how to prepare yourself for the exam. Also, you'll find directory, and this directory is showing all the lead professional worldwide, plus all the lead project worldwide. So you can select your country and you can check how many lead projects in your country, how many lead professional in your country, and for sure you'll have Lead Online. And Lead Online, we said, is a platform to communicate between project team and GBCI. Number two, the GBCI website, which is having the certification rating system and credential for professional. Number three, it is Prometric website, and this is a website for the test center. So you can use this Prometric website to book your exam. And recently, there is a chance now to do online exam during this COVID pandemic. So it can facilitate your exam process. And all this link I will put in the video description so you can use it and access and try how it's works. Okay, I hope that this video will be useful for you. And if you found any question or you have any inquiry, you can send it to this mail or this WhatsApp number. I hope this video was useful for you. You can share it and like if you found it as expected. Thank you and see you in another video.